Hi, and welcome to Superastral Odyssey Projected. People that have been watching me since a couple of years ago have seen that just using basic astrology, I was able to predict the big events of 2020, and I have been documenting it, how they have been fulfilled during the entire year. But what I also did in some videos, and I didn't show it until now, was to also project using the astral alignments, especially the Great Conjunction and the eclipses, to project images into the future, not based just especially in predictive astrology, but on the pure will projected into the future. So they became a reality. And now we will see how it's done. Among the videos that I did on 2019 predicting what was going to happen on 2020, I also made a video called 2020 Space Odyssey in reference that on 2020 was going to complete the Great Conjunction started on 2001, and in reference to the movie 2001 Space Odyssey that talks about planetary alignments and humanity passing from a primitive material state to waking up into a superior astral nature. And I used that opportunity to project into the video images that will become alive later. For example, in this video from 2019, 2020 Astral Odyssey, I literally projected a clown face that was going to become real on 2020 on the government, and that was exactly what we got. On 2020, the government put a clown on national TV to speak about the alleged coronavirus deaths, exactly as I projected.
No mirar para otro lado, no negar la realidad. No mirar para otro lado, no negar la realidad. No mirar para otro lado, no mirar para otro lado, no negar la realidad. No mirar para otro lado, no negar la realidad.
And all these examples like this that I am going to show, you can actually check for yourself because it's all documented on all the videos that I did during all 2019 and beyond. And even in that moment, I actually clarified that it was not going to be understood back then because it was not based on predictive astrology, and it was going to be understood later when it became alive. So with this, we start the Superastral Odyssey projected. We can see that in this video from 2019, I showed and repeated a clip where a politician said, "Do not look the other way. Do not deny reality." And I repeated this over and over to show the emphasis in which it was going to be projected into 2020. And it came to be. There were many and many pictures of the government itself not following the restrictions like social distancing and mouth covering that they were imposing on the population. There were even many occasions where on national TV the government contradicted itself in a matter of minutes, saying that problems should be resolved using the law, and minutes later saying the exact opposite. I even accompanied this picture with a video where the same politician involved in that fake news with video manipulation shows herself, making it look like she's having a real conversation, but people from the internet had discovered that in the change of camera angle, the coffee mug changes of shape and color, like a magic trick, revealing that it wasn't an actual spontaneous conversation. Instead, it was just, of course, a fictional production, scripted and rehearsed, where the picture is manipulated, and it was made with several shots, like a movie production, where everything is manipulated, making it pass for real when in reality it isn't. I also included a news from back then showing security cameras footage of social chaos, of people breaking into the government, but that people from the internet, that the news falsely was using pictures from 2001, saying falsely that they were recent. And in 2020 exactly, the news media show several times footage from the coronavirus crisis in the hospitals using the same picture from the same place, claiming falsely that they were from different days and different hospitals. Obviously, the people from the internet noticed the lie, they denounced it, and it was admitted. Exactly like I projected it was going to happen in a larger scale. And we didn't just have this with the several news where they try to pass mannequins as actual patients.
Footage from the same hospitals. You got the two doctors, one in green scrubs, one in blue scrubs. And if you pause it right here, you see you got the same computer, same waistband.
Ahí lo detenemos un segundo para que vean donde está indicando el palo. Dice 2001, dice el video.
But also on the video that just days before it was announced the worldwide quarantine, international politicians preaching world government, they made a small presentation for the official press where they shown on mainstream media their plans literally changing color like a magic trick in the same video, revealing the manipulation of the picture exactly like I shown it was going to happen a year before. The picture I projected became true.
Realmente impactado por estas imágenes, este ángulo de cámara que hasta ahora era inédito, muestra cómo intentaron entrar en los elementos que se tuvieron que usar para tratar de evitar que eso sucediera. Realmente impactado por estas imágenes, este ángulo de cámara que hasta ahora era inédito, muestra cómo intentaron entrar en los elementos que se tuvieron que usar para tratar de evitar que eso sucediera. Realmente impactado por estas imágenes, este ángulo de cámara que hasta ahora era inédito, muestra cómo intentaron entrar en los elementos que se tuvieron que usar para tratar de evitar que eso sucediera. Realmente impactado por estas imágenes, este ángulo de cámara que hasta ahora era.
It even repeat worldwide the pictures of people against the government, as I shown a year before, but it also became true the manipulation of the picture blown. Like for example, in the White House siege, where the people broke into the government palace, then it was revealed that several protesters were in cooperation with the security team, showing that in a big part there is a fictional setup. In that same video, I also projected 2001 Revenge and 2001 Return. And exactly like in 2001 Argentina was social chaos and happened the infamous escape in helicopter of the president, now, just after the Great Conjunction, with the social chaos due to the quarantine, the Argentinian president was attacked and had to escape on helicopter. Exactly the same. But not just this, but it literally got fulfilled the projection I made about Space Odyssey in 2019 to 2020. In the movie, a mysterious monolith appears and is crowded with astronauts, of course wearing protective suits. And in 2020, we got exactly, literally that. Mysterious monoliths and people with protected suits all over the world. But there is more. In June, October, I projected into the picture of the men rising to the astral light, and literally it became true on November with the monolith. Not only that, but I also projected on top of a pyramid, and the monolith ended up being literally a pyramid. And not just that, but I also projected the pictures of pyramids surrounded by UFOs. and that these events on the pyramids was going to be completed on December, at the end of 2020, with the Great Conjunction and the eclipse. And said and done, on December appeared videos of UFOs over the pyramids. Because obviously, as people that watches me from a long time, from the beginning, knows that I research everything in depth. Of course, I didn't just accept that the videos said they were made on December, because many of the commentaries on this video, that by the way, they are not easily found. If one does a simple search, they don't come up right away. They say that the actual video was from a skydivers show from November, not December. So I researched it, I looked all their videos from the skydivers, and I was able to check that the pictures from the skydivers don't match with the videos. It can be clearly seen that, especially on the beginning, the lights over the pyramids on December do not move. They are completely still, comparing it exactly with the ground. But in the skydivers video from November, it shows that they are jumping from a plane that obviously cannot remain still, instead should be moving even faster than the skydivers. And this is not what is shown in the astral lights from December. Besides, on the skydivers video, it is seen that they don't jump in large groups, different from the videos of the astral lights, where there are many. But there is more. Obviously, the skydivers jump and fall, logically. But in the video of the astral lights, shows that the original big source of light dissolves into many other smaller lights, and many of them, instead of falling, go up. Some of them even move sideways, without descending. Something that the skydivers obviously cannot do. So the December video does not match the skydivers from November. But regardless that the lights could be the skydivers, the projected picture became real. The superastral projection beyond time got fulfilled. And we continue. In November, I say that it was going to come the picture of Astral Tesla, the Electric Jesus, and on Christmas, at the Vatican, they erected a Jesus with light rays that looked exactly like a Tesla's electric tower, and they even included an astronaut presenting the moon as a gift in the same pose of the picture I projected months before. Not just that, but also in March, I said that with the Great Conjunction and eclipse of the end of the year was going to get completed the picture of the rising of the Egyptian astral column that represents the obelisk of the Egyptian King Messiah, and the statue of Jesus not only looks like one of those Egyptian columns, but was also risen right below an obelisk. For example, here is a fun fact. Did you know that in Geneva, Switzerland, there is a UN building, United Nations, the ones who declared the worldwide pandemic, and everybody knows that in Switzerland there wasn't a quarantine, there wasn't a lockdown. Well, in that UN building, they have a sculpture, which is a huge zodiacal astrology sphere. And another fun fact, it is very well known that in Rockefeller Plaza, one of the firms that was also involved on this world crisis, there is the infamous statue of Prometheus, seated on top of the pyramid. But what goes unnoticed for many is that he is seated on top of a big zodiacal astrological circle. So, it is a coincidence that the worldwide quarantine happened the year of the Great Astral Conjunction, or the world governments are in a cult that worship astrology to direct the world fiction. That is why, even though I knew that wasn't gonna be understood on that time, since 2019 I repeated over and over pictures of the mechanism of the superastral projection, where I show that planetary alignments are astral gates where one can receive and transmit information beyond time that charged and projected in group takes more strength, travels in the astral plane, just like information across internet. But the astral would be God's Wi-Fi, gets charged with spiritual energy in group, and then when the alignment gets completed, the information gets downloaded in the other side of the time gate, and it becomes real. And that is the superastral projection. That is why all those pictures that wasn't going to be understood on 2019, once the time has passed, can be clearly seen that they got projected across time perfectly, and that they are not just simple astrological predictions, but they are super astral projections. And that is the essence of the astral synchronization that I talked about in the past. But I can show it to you now, 2 years later, after everything got projected. And I can document it with real pictures. One thing is if I talk to you about spirituality and the soul and ideas and astral projections without being able to demonstrate this to you, but another thing is explaining it while documenting the mechanism and duplicating it several times using the scientific method, an hypothesis, an experimentation, and a result. With this, I can say the spiritual plane is real, is above this physical plane. You can access it, you can foresee it, you can intervene it, command it, and exercise authority over space and time, before time. So thanks to everyone who has been watching me from the beginning, because without you, this couldn't be possible. You also charge it and project it through time and space. You are too superastral. The planets, the astral bodies, the celestial bodies that moves across the sky, like the moon, are literally like satellites that transmit information. So one can transmit information across time. The moon, for example, it is an actual mirror. It reflects light. It reflects information. And not because the alleged astronauts left an alleged mirror on the surface to bounce a laser. The actual surface of the moon is an actual mirror. It receives and transmits information from and to all of us every day. And screens, the monolith, it's like the bridge, the middle pillar between the spiritual world, and the physical, where now we can see how all of this is possible. The impossible becomes possible, becomes real. All this, of course, can appear to many as crazy, but give it time when the world situation moves forward. Many that before never considered miracles are going to start to look for them. The elements of all this mechanism are even mentioned in the Bible. One has a material body that is ruled by the changes of time, but one also have a soul that is the astral body. Is invisible, but one can study it in the own astrological natal chart of birth. It shows the personality and marks the constant characteristics that endures across time. But there is also the spirit, that is your superastral, that is even beyond time, that is your eternal connection with God. And understanding this, I was able to make clearly the superastral projection. I just projected a clear vision, I charged it with energy, and I commanded it. The spirit is the original source where authority resides, that travels to the invisible order, which is the soul of the world, and is received into the physical world, meaning the projected picture became reality. So, how does this continue? I'm not going to explain it now in detail because it was already a lot of information together, but at the end I am going to leave a little sample of what's coming next. So I'll see you in the next superastral projection.